Hello, hello, you guys, and welcome to the Ultra Life Podcast. I am your host, Samantha Nivens, ultra marathon athlete, speaker, mom of two amazing little boys, and performance coach to help you guys live your ultra life. And what that means to me is where you have it all, you are not done, and you can do more than you think, no matter what your circumstances are right now. And this podcast, you're going to hear from myself and from some amazing guests coming up this next season on how you can live your ultra life. I want to help you guys. So, having it all, get in the best shape of your life, reach that next level health and fitness goal, wherever that is for you. We all have that next level to reach there. And then to go after that big AF business, professional, championship life goal that is really tugging on your heart and head, and to be able to thrive through your personal life. Because life is going to life us, right? Whether that's in your relationships with your kids, just in moving, whatever it is, that when you have all three of those and you are thriving, you are living an ultra life, even through the challenges. So I want to help you guys all achieve that. So I'm so excited to be with you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to start with, because literally I just officially announced and launched it today. So I want you guys to let you know, and especially as the topic we're talking about today, we're talking about creating the best year of our life in 2025. What? Yes. So I want to give you the tools to be able to do that here on the podcast. But I'm sure you guys know already, it's not just the podcast that is going to change your life, right? It's actually implementing and doing the work. And how do we do that? It's when we work together. And so literally launching January 1st is Ultra, the master membership. It is the best creation and space and program I've ever created before. And there is nothing else like it out there. You get to do all those things I just shared in the beginning. You get to be in the best shape of your life, work on that goal while you go after your big AF life goal, that business professional ultra goal that you have, and thrive through all the things you're going through personally. I mean, that is technically you could be in 3 different masterminds or programs for that and be paying literally anywhere, even up into the 6 figures for all of that, right? And you're going to get to do this all here in one spot. It is a premium high touch coaching support container and space where you will also be not only with myself and other coaches, the other coaches that will be coaching in there as we progress, but you will be around a like-minded community of other fucking fellow badasses that are also know that they can live an ultra life and want that for themselves versus sacrificing their health or their fitness for their business, or sacrificing their relationships and their kids and their family time for their business or for their dreams and goals. No. We do it all, and we do it all in this one incredible space. And it is like no other. And I will get into the episode in just a second here. I want you to hear this. It is like no other because not only do we get to have the space for those 2 big goals and then whatever's going on in life, but in the community itself, but aside from that, there is tracking. So you are going to write out your vision and goals from day one, and then we are going to track your progress and your results along the way so that you are never somewhere off and lost in the distance, like so many courses or group coaching programs where it's just here you go, here's some modules and some coaching, and I hope good luck. And instead it's no, I want you to be seen. I want you to be heard. If that's not if you're just I'm a kind of grab and go gal, or you can totally do that. But in general, you are seen, you are heard, you have a name. I want to know this is a place for depth. We are going deep in this master membership. This isn't just like any other course or program, okay? That is why it's super special. We are going to track your results so you literally have that accountability and that support to know you are making progress. I want to see and you to see your progress all along the entire 6 months and beyond. Okay. And I don't want to go into too many details here, but the other piece is this is one-on-one and group coaching. Yes, my friends, this is a super special sweet spot. I don't know anybody else in the industry doing this. Where you literally you get an initial 1.5 hour long planning session with me. So you have that specific plan personalized to you and your goals. And then you have group coaching and one-on-one coaching throughout the entire container. What? Yes. Okay. So if you are like, okay, this is resonating, this is something different, I am ready to go after your goals and create your dream life in 2025, there is going to be a link in the podcast for you to get started and join. You can also DM me or message me if you want to hop on a call on Instagram at that's my old Instagram handle, at Samantha Nivens. Okay. All right, you guys, let's dive into the episode. So, perfect episode for what I'm sharing here, because this is how you're going to achieve your 2025 vision and goals. So, I want to do something a little bit different today with creating this incredible best year of your life in 2025. Normally, and I still recommend this, but that's not what this episode is going to be about. Normally, you want to evaluate 2024 and you want to see what worked, what didn't work, what do you want to do different? Looking at your this last year's goals, did you hit them? Did you not? What do you want to do from there? And what I actually want to do is I want us to literally start with a clean slate. I want you all, when we're thinking about 2025, when we're thinking about not even just 2025, I want to even take you like, do you have a 3-year vision, a 5-year, a 10-year vision? Like when you think about the next 3, 5, 10 years, what your life looks like, what you have, what you've accomplished, who you are, all of that. You can even start from that far out to bring it back down into 2025. But I want us to start with an absolute clean slate. Now, if you have these incredible things that are working for you in your life already, and you want to bring those along into your 2025 dream life, please feel free. That's incredible. That's amazing. And what I want to offer with the clean slate is, and just so you guys visually, I like to give a lot of visuals to help our minds wrap around what I'm really talking about. Clean slate. It's literally, I want you to picture a white erase board. And on it is this past year's goals, all the different goals and things and what you actually did. And then maybe even the last 3 years goals, or your lifetime story about, what you've done and accomplished and who you've been. All of that is on this whiteboard, right? Everything up until this day today. What I want you to do is to wipe that clean. Literally, take a dry erase, like an eraser, and you're just erasing it all. And from this clean slate place where it's literally white space, right? You could literally put on that board anything and everything that you want and could imagine. AKA, the reason to do it this way, that I want to offer this way, is so that you literally can have a fresh start, no limitations, no, but this is who I've been, Samantha. I've been this type of person. This is how I was raised. This is all the accolades and what I've done in my corporate career and who I've been and as a parent or in a relationship and what I've always had, or, even if I've wanted something else, there's so many on that board when it's filled up from our life experiences or from this past year. It's filled up. Even right there, think about that and think about all the things on that board before we erased it. How cluttered, how full. That might even feel like a little exhausting to like look at that board and see that like energetically. You're like, oh God, like it's a lot, you know? And there's old stories, there's old beliefs, there's old patterns. There's all of this of like what was possible up until this day. And instead, when we erase it, and when we have this beautiful, clear, clean, not cluttered, just minimal, just this beautiful, wide open space. Like taking another breath with you, because like literally, like I feel lighter. I feel so much lighter. I feel expansive. I feel more free. Just the thought of a clear white board, right? I feel some little tingles of like excitement. I feel like, ooh, like this like little zest, this little like like spark of like energy, because you're like, what? So now you're asking yourself, what do I want to create? What do I want on my board? Not what's always been there. This is what I should have. This is because I already have this, and that should definitely be on the board for next year. No, no, no. What do you want in 2025? Or take it out further for your life in general, for those 3, 5, 10-year goals. What do you want? Okay? Regardless, all of that other stuff we erased. Now, this is where you get to dream. You get to imagine. You get to, anything and everything is possible for you on this beautiful white space. You can shift things around. Maybe business was a huge part of your life this last year, like half of it or 90% of it. As entrepreneurs, that can happen to us, right? Where it can like fill up our lives and squish everything off the board or to the edges. You get to decide from this day forward, from the time you do this exercise forward, what do you want to create? What do you want your life to look like? Okay. So now maybe your board, instead of the business being 9%, maybe you're like, no, the business is 30%. My making room for this new fabulous thriving relationship is 30%. Making room for family and friends is 20%. Making room for my health and fitness is another 20%. And then having 10% like of absolutely nothing, leave room for like adventure. I think I did the math there right. I don't know. You guys get the idea though, right? You get to decide now what is on your board for each area. Okay? All right. So I want to offer these areas of what you can look at for your board. And I want to offer a few things when you're really creating this. One is, and I probably should have said this in the beginning, but I'm going to say it now, is I really want you to take the time and space to do this and not be in a rush. So this isn't, if you listen to this podcast while you're driving, walking, running, whatever it is, and great, do that. Take some notes on your phone like I do while I'm running, and then you can come back to it. You can listen to it again. Fast forward, come right to the spot, wherever that spot is that really hit home for you. But I want you to really take the time and space for this, not just like what you've always done, maybe, which is like, okay, well, yeah, I want to change jobs. I want to lose 20 pounds, like the same fucking shit you've had on your goals and your vision for like the last year or 2 years, or the same kind of linear trajectory that like most business coaches or, health people say that you can do is like, or this is you got to get married and then have the kid and then buy the house. And then like, fuck that, you guys. Okay. That is not how we do things here. That is not how I do things. That is not how I want you to live your life in this very, like, very linear robot. This is what everybody else in the world does, so this is what I should do. No, you are a beautiful, incredible solo. You are this 1 in a billion human. I want you to be as you as possible in this next year of your life. Your life, right? Instead of plodding along like very averagely and and cautiously and just like every, just a little bit maybe beyond the other people or this. Like, no, we are going to fucking shake shit up. We are going to be rebels, do things different. That is why we are doing it this way. Okay? We don't want average results. We won't want to create the average life. We don't want to do like all of this. Like, listen, if there are things in your business that are getting results, we can put those on the page, right? Of what gets you the results because you like those and you want those. But if you want to do business in a different way and you want to get some different results, yeah, let's explore that too, right? Okay. So I want you to find that space and that time. I would honestly offer to go for a walk or a run before you do this. So you're in such a good, clear headspace. Or if that's first thing in the morning for you, that's what it is for me a lot of the times when I'm really alive and my brain is like on all cylinders. If that's nighttime for you, then have at it then. But I want you to be not rushed, not hustling to do this, not just like, yeah, okay, it's 2025, best 2025. Like, got it, good. Take a breath. And we're going to slow down to do this really intentionally. I will do a podcast on my 2024 and my lessons learned. But what is a part of what I've realized and where I'm at now is like my life moving forward in 2024, or excuse me, in 2025 and in general, and just right now even, is going to be extremely and is intentional as fuck. Like, if it is not something I want in my life, period, it will not be in my life. Or I will have the certain boundaries up, the things like I know I'm very intentional about what I want. And I want that for you guys too. Okay. So we're in this super safe space that you guys have created and holding this space to do this really intentionally. And then the areas I want you to consider are essentially the areas of your life, meaning your family. Is it spending more time with your kids? Okay, actually, before we go into the areas, what I want to just sidestep right before that, you have your space, is when all these areas, I want you to think about, I've said this already in here, but I'm going to be very clear about it here. I want you to think about, what do you want? Not what you've had in the past, not what your partner maybe wants you to be like or for you to do, not what society and culture wants, not what you think you should do is for your kids or to be the best parent, not what the Instagram influencer who's like super ripped and you're like, oh God, I wish I could have that. This is like, what do you want? There is no other answer except what do you want? What's the business you want? Not what all the best people in the business world and the Hermosis and the, Jasmine Star, whoever. No. What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your health and fitness goals in your body to look like? What do you want your parenting and your family life to look like? Okay. So that's my caveat. That's how you go into these areas of your life. Okay. So with that in mind, so we're looking at all areas. So that's your family life. What does your family life look like? How do you guys operate as a family? How much time are you spending with your kids or without your kids? What is the vibe? What does the frequency look like for your family? What about your health and fitness? What are those goals that you want to go after and achieve? And you guys, this is like, I don't want you to dismiss. Here's a rule. You cannot dismiss anything that plunks into you, that pings to you. If you're like, I want to, lose 50 pounds and look, be able to see my abs at 50 during menopause. Yeah, that's what I would really want, but I'm not going to put that because there's no way I could do that. Stop right there. Okay. What do you want? I want you to put it down. Okay. All right. So health and fitness, is it running a race? I don't want you to limit yourself, AKA I have client. I'm sure she's going to come on board for the master membership. And she wants to run an ultra marathon. By the way, this is not the average person. Like, I definitely do have those people because obviously I'm an ultra runner, but this is not average. You do not have to ever run an ultra or run at all in my world for your health and fitness goal. Okay. Let's just be clear. But she does. And she's not been training for one. Like, she's basically would be starting at, essentially square one. And I'm like, you're damn right you can do an ultra next year. And depending on the race, I bet I could get her there in 6 months, from couch to ultra in 6 months. That is not something I am like, oh, honey, like, I'm sorry, like, that's probably not going to be possible for you. Like, you need to train and really start to slowly, like, and don't get me wrong, there's a process I will take my clients through, and there is a slow start to build up to it. But that does not have to take, running an ultra marathon does not have to take you a year or 2 years or 3 years. I once had someone tell me they had a goal to run a 5K in a year, a half marathon in 2 or 3 years, and a full marathon in like 5 years. Maybe it was 10 even. Whatever it was, I was like I was awestruck because I was like, basically like, you're fucking kidding me. I could get you to all 3 of those in a year. Like, that is the power of what we're doing. And when we declare what we want, if that's what you want, absolutely we could do that in a year. Honestly, you could probably do that in 6 months, just like the 0 to ultra, right? So do not dismiss, do not limit yourself on any of these areas. Okay, so we talk about family, health and fitness, your business or your profession. What are those goals? What else? Financially, could be personally. Like, if you're not in a relationship, you find your dream partner, you have a kid, you add to your family, you guys have a better family dynamic. Are you doing your big ultra goal is to speak on stages like I'm going to be in 2025? Is it to win championships like the NFL athletes I'll be working with in 2025? What is it for you? You guys explore all the areas. I want you to put on there what your life looks like in 2025. What's the vision when you start from complete scratch and there are no limitations or no goals? And again, if there are things you already like, you have a thriving marriage and relationship, amazing. You can put that on there, right? Continue with your thriving relationship and marriage, but you're intentionally putting it on there because you want it. You love your partner, you love your marriage, and you want that again in 2025. Not you've been in a marriage or a relationship and it's, it's okay. It's good enough. It's good enough. They're great and all these, and it's good. It's good. But what you really want is not that, but you're afraid to speak up. You're afraid to set boundaries. You're afraid to leave. You're afraid if that doesn't work out, then you'll never be able to do it on your own, blah, 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 right? Okay. So now we're getting real with ourselves. That's where I'm saying, what do you want? If you want this relationship you're in and that's going amazing, put it on your board for 2025. If you're just in it because you're in it, that does not go in 2025. And I'm not saying you just split up with your partner right now. What I'm saying is you put what you want. You want a relationship that looks like this. Get detailed about it. Get deep. You guys, we're going deep in 2025. Okay, I have to make some notes here even for myself because on my own 2025. Intentional, we're going deep. We're getting results. Like 2025. I don't want any of it to just be half-assed, like kind of like it's there, it exists. Your body exists, and you've got a body, it walks, it takes you places, it eats, it can kind of chase after your kids, versus a body that fucking is a force to be reckoned with, is a magnet, is an energizing, like you can race after your kids to where they're like, Lawson and I have this fun goal together where he's like, I'm going to beat you, mom. And I'm like, I'm going to do everything I can so you can't beat me, son. And it's super fun. Us doing the 40-yard dash, timing it together, like going after my best body goals. Like, I'm not just in this body, I'm fucking using it. Right. All right. So go over all those areas of your life. And that is what I want you to go off of for creating the best 2025. Is you start with that. You start with the vision. You start from scratch. You start with what you want. You start with being intentional, so fucking intentional. No more just like it's there because it's there type of stuff. You're starting with depth, that what you want that's so deep in you that like that's what creates the motivation and momentum, is when you want that. Like I always think of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like he wanted to be a bodybuilder and then an actor and then governor so bad in his bones. But he was happily getting up to do 4 hours of workouts today in a day and working as a bricklayer and going to college as taking classes and starting to do real estate. Like he did it all and with a smile on his face. Where are you doing? Like your life should look like that, right? We are human, so we're going to have bad days, right? But in general, overall, you have this beautiful vision and you want it. It's so resonating with you. You're like, absolutely, you would put in the work because it resonates so much. That's why, like, my ultra marathons, that is how I was able, and still even to these days, like, make the time for it. That's how I was able to get up at 4 a.m. with a postpartum 2 young babies at home, essentially, less than a year old and a 2.5-year-old. Well, I would go run leave at 3:45, 4 a.m. so I could go run. What? Like, I didn't have to do that. Nobody told me you need to run an ultra marathon, right? Nobody told me you need to PR in a race by 30 minutes, which I ended up doing that year at the shut-in race. I PR'd by 30 minutes with a baby a year postpartum. What? And I had lost all the baby weight already, weighing out already. On like 3 days a week, you guys. Because I wanted it. That is how I got up in the morning. I put in the work and I made it a priority, is I wanted it. Like, oof, so bad. You need to watch a YouTube video and see my face that I just made. Okay, so that is how I want you guys to imagine and start to create your 2025, okay? And then from there comes the actual planning of it. So once you have that vision, then you start to plan it and work backwards to say, all right, what are all the steps and the things I need to do each day, each week, each month to create this? We're not going over that today in this episode, okay? This is for you guys to create the vision of what you want in 2025, because that's where it starts. That's what we need. We don't just say, okay, I just want to do this thing, like this, just this X, accomplish this thing. I want you to start with the vision, with such intentional, clarity with what you want fresh. Okay. Woo. All right, you guys, I am lit up doing this episode with you guys. I am so excited. Please, I want to hear what came up for you. If it's one little area or thing where you're like, damn, like you feel a little called out and you're like, but thank you, Samantha. I want to hear from you. Let me know what that is on Instagram at Samantha Nivens. That's my actual Instagram handle. DM me, tag me in this episode, share the episode with a friend if you loved it and you're like, okay, yes, like who else needs to hear this message? Okay. And if you guys are like feeling the fire and the magnetism and the energy for your 2025 vision, then come join me in Ultra the Master membership that we talked about early on. It launches officially January 1st, but when you join now, you can already get your one-on-one call with me to set up your plan and have, depending when you listen to this, up to 3 weeks to create results already going into 2025. You guys, you could create massive results in 3 weeks. I just want to let you know that. Whenever you join, you will get your initial planning setup private call with me. And you can start right now and get going and get extra coaching for these last 3 weeks. So the link is going to be in the show notes here. I cannot wait to hear what you guys are up to in 2025. I know it's going to be one of the best years of my life. I'm declaring it. I'm owning it. I see it. I have it on my big ass calendar on the wall. I have it already in my vision and goals. You guys, woo, I'm like, watch them out. Like the waves are parting. This is going to be an incredible year. And I want the same for you. All right? All right, let's fucking go. I'll see you guys again soon.